So where we left off was the question about altruism and Sieghart's insistence that, at least in their professional practice, that the professional always has to choose altruism over selfishness. The question is why? Well, he provides an interesting answer to that. It has to do with knowledge and skills. And, one of the traditional ideas of profession is that you have to study to do it. And what that presupposes is that there is a set of, you might call them arcane or special, at least, skills and knowledge that's involved in the practice of a profession. Not just everybody can do it, because not everybody has the particular know-how that's involved in doing it. This is why the professionals have to have certain education and licensing and everything like that. So there's an assumption that in the relationship, and let's talk about the sort of relationships that he talks about for the moment, doctors and patients and lawyers and clients, that between those two entities, between, let's say, the doctor and the patient, there is what he calls the gross disproportion of power, I think is what he calls. That is, in a professional relationship, in the classic professional-client relationship, let's say, it's the professional who has all the power. And the client, let's say the doctor's patient or the lawyer's client, is in a sense at the mercy of the professional because of their superior knowledge with regard to the body or with regard to the law, or with regard to, here of course, engineering, you can see how it can fit in. I mean, the idea is that engineers have particular skills that give them a certain power over, well, who? That is a matter to think about. Over clients, over customers, over the public at large. But the idea is that there is this disproportion of power, and that it would this puts a special responsibility on the professional, simply because there is so much opportunity to take advantage of the other, be it the patient, be it the client, be it the public at large. So that in that situation in which the professional has all the power, there is simply no other alternative but to choose altruism, because otherwise the opportunity for exploitation, taking advantage of the other, the unskilled one, is too great. And I think this is really something to think about in terms of engineers, because it's often said in engineering, and this will be an issue as we go on, that in a way engineers are much more powerful than doctors or lawyers by and large, because what they do in some, I would say, not just in civil engineering, structural engineering, engineering that deals with large systems, that all engineering that I've heard of, potentially at least, has a great effect on a great number of people. People who don't have the knowledge and skills that the engineers who are involved in the construction of things and the running of things have. So this is a really basic idea, I think, in Sieghart. That is that professionals find themselves in that relationship of the so-called gross inequality or disproportion of power, and that in that situation they must choose altruism, because the opportunity, the danger of exploitation is simply too great. So that, you could say, is the first criterion of it's both a criterion of a profession, and it is also sort of the foundation of, or one of the foundations for the idea of a special professional ethics that goes along with that power. And his second criterion is also very interesting, and interesting, I think, especially for engineers, and has to do with the idea of serving a noble cause. This is introduced in Sieghart's essay when he talks about a hypothetical in which a doctor's patient requests that the doctor use his skills to poison a third person. And the question is, well, if the doctor has such a this altruistic relationship with the patient, you can come right in, Callan. Go ahead. I mean, what am I doing?